Okay, so tonight we're going to do something a little bit different, and that is, well, we used to do freestyles. I want to bring that back because that's where I feel the most comfortable, just working. So here we have my art bootcamp freestyle file, and in it, I was working on this, and I will take this up to a final. I'm thinking about cleaning it up and then, doing some digital color and then using that as reference for watercolor. And we also have this one I still want to clean up a little bit, shift some things, tighten it up. But today, so we have this, call it Beautiful Bees Kiss, Beautiful Bees Kiss Pounce, and that will be this one. So I did all these little gestures. She's a tiger girl with wings, a fighter, tiger style, genetic experiment to be a fighter. So let's, okay, always copy. Because in case you mess up, which is always possible. So duplicate this layer. Okay. We'll take this and usually have to rasterize it. Rasterize layer so that you can manipulate it. Press M and then we'll delete. And so we're isolating what we need from everything else. Delete. Try to get it as close. Delete. Okay. Command D to deselect. And then Command T to transform. So I blow this up. I like this pose. So we're going to draw on top of it. Probably start like we did with the boot camp. Do simple shapes, and then on top of that, we'll do some light muscle work. And then we'll go from there. Okay. So once you blow it up, it looks a little grainy, a little blurry, but that's fine because we're just gonna get rid of this because that's distracting me. Command D, deselect. Okay, so new layer on top of this. We're gonna make a dark orange. And so we want to keep most of this, but we're going to break this down into shapes. Let's V 70%, 50%. Yeah. Okay, we're going to name this layer shapes. So what is this? You might be asking. This is probably, I'm going to try to make this a normal part of my routine and put it on YouTube. It's just the process, right? This is the process. This is what I do pretty much all the time. And if you want to, work on your own projects, just hang out, chill out, that's cool. Okay, shapes layer. I press the B for the brush tool. The brackets to increase the size or lower the size. I have some music in the background for myself, and this is what I usually do. Okay. circle for the overall shape of the head. We have, and we're going to fill that out. You know how to do this, right? Got the back of the head. Oh, the neck. All right, where's that side plane? Make the side plane about here. Down, around. All right, so this is a pounce pose. We have the eye line, approximately where the eyebrows would be, approximately. All right, I've done this many a time, so I'm just doing what I do naturally. The ear is between the nose and the eye line, behind the mandible. All right. So we got that. I'm fighting myself to keep it simple. Simple shapes. We're gonna do an egg shape for her because she's of the female persuasion. But we want that S curve, right? Swoosh. And we can continue that into the tail. But and her hips, go something like this. All right, top of the box. It's all simple shapes. Side plane of the box. Another plane of the box. Right. And we also do circles for joints. I'm gonna try to get this away from her head. Try to get that away from the head. We still have the cylinder in. All right, cylinder. We got another cylinder. We got a cylinder. I'm just making it up, right? So you might be asking, why make this a series? Because I think it's important that people see the process, right? This is pretty much every artist does the same basic thing. After a while, you break it down and you can do this just, it's not, right? It becomes so internalized that you just move. I'm all over the place because I'm trying to blend the two. This is the normal process. Right, this is what we do. You're gonna have to. All right, she's in midair. And I always forget the wings. Can't forget the wings. So the wings would come out from the back. They're essentially another pair of arms, right? So she essentially has 4 arms. But the 2 happen to be, so I sometimes draw through the figure. Right. And a wing, like an arm, has, right, say, the upper arm, the lower forearm, and then parts that come off. Well, the feathers extend out. but it also has two-way, right? So they come out, go up. And so it's something like this. And I want the tail to come off. Right, here's her pelvic area, but tail comes out, off, and it has a dynamic curl to it. And of course, she has hands. Simple box shape, and the finger is coming off of that. Right. Side plane, side plane. That's two. We can do better than this. Come on. All right, so that is button sternum, clavicle, clavicle, sternum. All right, and that egg turns into this simple rib cage. All right, her spine would insert into her hips. And the spine's kind of thick because it has to hold all this together. Now, of course, you can adjust this as you need, right? Because I think I might do this leg this way, slightly. So, lasso tool. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Command T to transform, and I can just rotate. Okay. Command D. We'll select this layer and the layer below it. Press V and then arrow buttons to move it. To get it slightly away from that top. Okay. Okay. I'll go back to my. So shall we do some light muscles, or should we get these simple shapes in there? So back to the brush tool. She's got the trapezius. But we're right. I'm tightening it up a little bit. There's a top plane to the shoulders, which is this. I'm going to be all over the place, aren't I? So we'll just embrace it. All right. Clavicle. We'll insert. And sometimes when people do a rib cage, right, they do the back edge as a straight to counter this barrel right here. But it depends on who you are and what you're doing. So we got the squash area. Like an area in animation to talk about the squash and the stretch. All right, where is the bendy, and then where's the straight? Well, it's curved, but it's more of a straight than this. I'm not exactly sure if I like that. So her pectoral muscles are stretched, but still they go along the clavicle, the sternum, and along the rib cage. Still wondering how far back I want to do this arm. And erase as you need, but so far, so good. We're just going with it. I'm just rocking and rolling. That's okay. So we have the rectus abdominis, but it's stretched at the lower and above. Right, the hips, just slightly above it, is your belly button, and that's pretty much delineates the top and the bottom. The gracilis. Hamstring is going into the gluteus maximus. We got the gastrocnemius, calf muscle. The patella. Some people simplify it down to just being a square. And there's this hinge of the ankle, and the inner ankle is higher than the outer ankle. I'm just talking. Okay, so we got this. We got the heel. And we have the arch going to the foot pad. And as a tiger, she has sharp toenails, although she can retract them. The Sartorius, Rectus femoris. Just drawing for funsies. Okay. Again, middle part. Got the heel, the arch, and going into the foot pad and the toes. Tail coming off, receding in space. Got the bicep. We can erase some of this. Still not sure if I like the position. And back to the brush tool. Tricep, bicep, shoulder deltoid is coming into that. I want to go more like this. It's all tiny decisions. Like, which way do you want to go? And this part is more curved than the fingers. I'm just making this up as I go. Something like that. Although I probably take this down a little bit. Lasso. Swooshy swoosh. Although she does have larger hands than most, to give her that fighter appearance. Okay. Deselect. Let's see about this head. Brush tool. Am I happy with this neck? I think we can put the head up a little bit. Let's go. Okay. So it's a little bag. I'm probably gonna change it again, but that's just part of how this goes. Right. Okay. I got the chin, mandible. For ladies, you usually round off things, right? They're not. They have less hard edges than men. All right, let's do some roughing in of the face. So sometimes I just start with the nose first. All right, let's get the ruff. And usually she always has a smile because she finds all of this fun. And usually one eyebrow is down and the other is usually up. And so this eyebrow would be more down, slightly up. And let's rough in some hair. So her hair kind of, well, she's like jumping, flying, a pounce motion. So her hair would be slightly back. And her hair is kind of loose. And I originally designed it because she's like the sun tiger. And so a sun, you know, has coming out like that. So I try to make her hair simulate that. But yeah. And it's flowy, and it's loose. overlooking it. Hmm. Mm-mm. And then I use the erase down. Until I just have an impression. And then we do it again. Brush tool. Right, comes out. Comes in for the eye. Out for the cheeks. Chin. Now, let's see. That nose. I usually think of a tiger nose, right? And that's... if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. How it's slightly wide. But the underside. Not usually because of she's a lady, I slighten her features. But it's all... yeah, it's all... I make it up kind of as I go. Up and over. I can kind of see it. I can do all these details later, but while I'm here. Let's erase some of this more. Back to the brush tool. And so her ears are slightly pointed. I could put them on top, right? But I think I've done that before. And let's say this is a different dimension. This is a dimension where she has a slightly more human appearance. And of course, work on it as long or as little as you feel like. If you have deadlines, well, that's different. But usually, if you don't, it can go on as long as you feel like. I wonder if sometimes when I'm feeling devilish, I put some horns in the hair. Or just some kind of indication. She's feeling kind of tricksterish. All right. And if I was going to put in some indication of clothing, she has like a athletic wear underneath. And that usually goes about to her upper thigh. And then a dress on top of that. So not even sure what kind of dress right now, but hey. Something like this. Right, and I can continue on. Let's get this away. Maybe too long. Still trying to figure out this far arm. Right. Elbow comes out, comes forward. Right. So this is the wrist. Given that this is the wrist, we have the thumb radiating off. And we're gonna go. So say this finger is like the most uncurled or something. I'm actually posing my hand in this position, which, you know, if it helps. We kind of lost the plot. Something like that. She has a tank top on top of their athletic wear. So that's. And she has to cut it to let her wings, both the athletic top and the tank top, she has to cut them to get her wings out behind her. Something like that. Let's find some of these wings. Since the far one is behind her, well, most of this. Right, but this one, say it comes off her back, forearm, well, upper arm, and the forearm. Right, something like this. And then there's vestiges of digits. I can't exactly remember what the bones, but it's something like this, I believe. Right. So there's bone within the wing. Right. And usually there's it's put into, say, the upper arm part, forearm part, and then fingers part. But since this is all made up, but still, it's nice to have some semblance of real life influencing some of your decisions. Even if it is a ridiculous idea, it helps. I think the wings are arranged in, like, there's main wing part, and, right, things that help different areas. Work on this some more, but we'll probably leave it about here. Some refining, and then we'll probably tighten it up. Yeah. All right. So that was something. This is probably part one. Part two, we'll refine it some more. And then, figure out what's next. So I'll see you next time. Keep shining. Bye-bye.